You're listening to Imagine Air Theater. These are stories of the world as it might have been, the world as it could be. Sometimes inspiring tales, sometimes cautionary tales. I'm your host, Terry Phillips. Life in the Old West was filled with all sorts of trouble. Every typical story of that era included a strong man with a six-shooter to enforce law and order. But what happens when people lose faith in the one they choose to protect them? And what if he refuses to give up power peacefully? We call our tale Smoking Gun.
Mr. Crump! Mr. Crump!
In here!
Morning, Marshal.
What's your hurry, Calvin?
You better come quick, sir. They're having a town meeting down the Short Branch Saloon.
Meeting? About what?
About you. Folks are saying they want to choose a new marshal.
Well, you better get Ted and Mitch and the rest of the boys down there to stop them.
But they're fixing to have another election right now.
Oh, yeah? Well, we'll just see about that. Come on, Deputy, let's go.
I heard a couple of them complain about how much money you were making as marshal. From all your businesses, too. You know, that cattle ranch and the livery stable, your hotel.
My family runs the hotel, Calvin.
Oh, I know that, sir, but they said you only cared about getting rich and, helping other rich folks.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being successful. That's the American way.
Well, of course, I surely do agree. Oh, but this other fella, he said it was your fault so many people got sick last year.
Well, that's ridiculous. I wasn't responsible for the town well running dry.
No, sir. You're not responsible for anything.
Come on, let's go inside.
Obviously, he has too much power. That's why we have to... What are you doing here, Marshal?
Some reason I shouldn't be here, Clint?
No. We just figured that...
You figured what? That you tried to get rid of me behind my back? You haven't got the guts to face me.
Now, there's no call for that, Marshal.
Shut up.
But we have the right...
Now listen to me, Clint, and all of you. I'm declaring this an illegal assembly.
That's not right, Marshal. The town council already voted, and now we're counting the ballots.
You stick to teaching children, Miss Prudence. This here's man's business.
Well, I never.
I'm closing down this saloon until further notice. Now go on. Everybody get out.
But, Marshal...
I said out. Get.
Don!
Oh, hello, Katie.
Donnie, please don't shut me down. You'll ruin my business.
Well, I have to, Kate.
They'll just move somewhere else.
Well, then I'll close every saloon in Plymouth City if I have to.
But what'll that do to the town's economy?
Now look, I enforce law and order around here. That election was gonna be rigged. I won last time by the biggest majority in the town's history. Everybody knows that.
That's right, Miss Katie. Besides, look at all the wonderful things Marshal Crump did. He made our town great again.
Well...
There's hardly any crime. No more engine wars. Main Street's cleaner than ever.
I suppose that's true.
Well, of course it's true.
And do you know why? Because I am the roughest, toughest marshal in this country. And next year, I'll build a beautiful big fence right along the border to keep Plymouth City safe. So don't let a few ungrateful bums spoil things for us. Okay?
Okay, Don.
Well, that's my girl. We'll get your saloon open again, just as soon as things settle down.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, come on, Deputy. Let's get back to the office.
Yes, sir, Mr. Crump. Goodbye, Miss Katie.
See you later, Calvin. Bye, Don.
You see, Calvin, that's the way you have to handle trouble in this.
Watch out, Marshal. I think it came from over there.
Right.
That man on the horse.
I see him, Calvin. Get down.
You got him, Marshal. Shot him right off his horse.
Yep.
Do you know him?
Looks a little like a Bob Mule Deer, gunman from Kansas City. I saw a circular on him last week. Wanted for murder, dead or alive. Now, there's a $500 reward.
Is that really him?
Well, I think so, probably.
Oh, too bad you can't collect that money, seeing as how you're a marshal and all.
Don't you worry. I'll figure out a way.
But I thought the law says
You
that...
forget, Calvin. In Plymouth City, I am the law.
Right. I guess maybe that's why it's called martial law.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Donald.
Oh, hello, Doc. Come to perform your duty as Grim Reaper, I see.
How's that? Oh, Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper. Well, I do get paid for every autopsy, you know.
Do you really think it's necessary to establish a cause of death in this case?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. The victim of every violent act must be investigated by the town medical examiner. That's me.
All right, Doc. Calvin, do you want to help Dr. Carlson here take away the deceased?
Yes, sir, Mr. Crump.
I'll be back at the jail. Oh, and Calvin, let me know if you hear about any more meetings, huh?
Yes, sir.
Come on, Calvin. Let's move him. Watch his head now. Easy. Easy.
After that, things were peaceful in Plymouth City, for a while. Doc Carlson certified that the man I shot was Bob Muledeer, although he could never really be sure. Anyway, the reward money was paid to my hotel company, and there were no more meetings to elect a new town marshal. Everything was back to normal. That is, until one day Calvin was out making his rounds, and I was in my office reading the mail. Come in.
Howdy, Marshal.
Marshal.
Clint, Butch.
Marshal, Butch and I came here to tell you that our town council sent a telegram to the Capitol this morning.
Oh?
Yes. We formally petitioned for your replacement. You'll have to go.
You're telling me to get out of Dodge? Get out of Plymouth?
You left us no choice, Don. Since you refused to let us hold another election, we asked the territorial governor and the chief circuit judge to remove you from office, by force if necessary.
Oh, it'll be necessary. I'm not leaving. This is my town.
Well, we'll see about that.
Oh, you've gone too far. I'm placing you both under arrest.
Huh?
What? You can't do that.
Can't I? Walk down to that cell.
You're loco. Put that gun away.
Move!
People know we're here, Marshal.
Good. There's plenty of room in those cells for more.
Don, you can't.
I said move.
You won't get away with this.
Watch me.
Mr. Crump.
Back here, Calvin.
Marshal Crump. Oh, my Lord. You locked up Clint and Butch.
What do you want, Calvin?
What did they do?
Never mind. Why are you back here? I told you to make your rounds.
Oh, well, I did. I was. And then I stopped at the telegraph office. Ed Thompson gave me this here telegram for you. It's from the territorial governor's office.
Well, what does it say?
Maybe it'd be better if...
Read it.
Yes, sir. To Donald J. Crump, Town Marshal, Plymouth
Skip
City.
all that.
Yes, sir. It says you are to suspend all extra jurisprudence activities under color of authority granted by the territorial mandate forthwith. What does that mean?
It means I'm fired.
Fired? But goodness gracious, fired? They can't fire you. You were elected by the people of Plymouth. In democracy, the people decide.
You know something, Calvin? You're right. The people decide, not some judge or governor or town council. The people elected me marshal.
That's right.
Now what? Quiet, everybody. Quiet! What's all this about?
We're here to bail out Clint and Butch. You can't keep them in jail. We heard about that telegram, Mr. Crump, and you're not in charge anymore.
I'll decide who's in charge around here, Miss Prudence. All right, now who's with me?
No one is going to follow you anymore. We all voted. I counted the ballots, and you are out.
But you're just a schoolmarm. How do you know all this?
I teach more than reading and writing, Mr. Crump, and if you ever came to visit our school, you'd hear some lessons on history, on geography, on civics. You'd learn that truth matters more than lies and that no man is above the law.
I am the law around here. All right? Now, you men, we need to organize a posse. Now, let's ride to the Capitol and take over the governor's office.
Don, don't do it.
She's right, Donald.
Doc, Katie, what are you two doing here?
A better question is, what are you doing?
I thought we were friends, Donnie.
Well, sure, we are friends, but why are you with this mob?
This mob, as you called it, are the people who elected you, and now they voted you out of office.
No.
No.
That's not true. I won by a landslide, and I won't go. I won't. I will not go.
Don, think about what you're doing. To yourself. To us. To the whole town.
You don't understand. I can't quit, Katie.
But, Donnie, that's how democracy works.
Well, in that case, it's time to have a shootout on Main Street at high noon. That's the way things like this get settled.
What?
That's right, Doc.
A shootout? Oh, please. A shootout? At high noon?
You can't, Mr. Crump. It's too late.
Too late? Why?
Well, you can't have a shootout at high noon now. It's already 2 o'clock.
Dagnabbit! I wanted to have a shootout!
Who would you shoot, Donnie? Doc? Me? All these people?
But I'm the law around here!
No, Donald. You are not the law. We are.
In most westerns, the protagonist is always right, always defends law and order, is always prepared to make personal sacrifices for the greater good. But some leaders neither know nor care about right and wrong. Even when they do, things don't always turn out the way they should, the way we'd like. As a wise man once said, we should hope for the best and expect the worst. You've been listening to Imagine Air Theater. Today's episode, Smoking Gun, featured William Jones as Marshal Crump, Paul Messenger as Clint, Stella Valente as Katie, Chris Tilley as Doc, Amy-Helene Carlson as Prudence, and Hannes Phinney as Calvin. Casting by Stella Valente. Script consultant, Mark Boyce. Our theme song comes from Roman Senek, with special music by Mr. Snooze. Additional audio from Sintonizar Productions and Rack Rack Sound Effects. I'm Terry Phillips, inviting you to join us again for the next episode of Imagine Air Theater. If you like these programs and want to hear more, please subscribe, share, and support. Go to our website, imagineairtheater.com. That's imagine-air-theater.com. It's all in your head.